Is it rolling?
Yep.
All right. In 3, 2, 1, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 78 of the Prehistoric Podcast. As always, I'm one of your hosts, Francois Nation.
I'm Andrew Sorsdahl. You need to start thinking of these before we roll.
Christopher
Reeves.
He's Superman.
No.
Christopher Reeves.
I'm John Dunsworth.
Oh, no.
No, it's sad.
John Dunsworth, you are not.
It's not like Christopher Reeves is like the fucking happiest story either, but...
No.
We lost a great man this week.
Did he live most of his life as a cripple, or just...
Shooting Superman, he lost his...
I love this.
Shooting one of Superman?
I believe so.
Right after, it was right
was
between them.
stunt,
It was
wasn't it?
between... No.
No, he was just riding his horse.
Stephen Lynch has a great little thing. Dear Diary, today was a grand day. I bought myself a brand new horse. She's fast, and so very beautiful, and just a little wild, of course. I'm hoping tomorrow I can tame her if I only believe.
Dear Diary.
Love Christopher Reeves.
Yeah. Anyway, we lost a good man, a good Canadian man this week.
Canada's, I think I had a pretty eloquent post about that, but to me, one of Canada's finest comedy exports.
And we're not talking about celebrating tragically hip score Downey.
He was an icon.
He fucking just slipped away on us.
I think people
John
kind of
Dunsworth passed away.
people kind of
Mr.
also
Lady from Trailer Park Boys.
people kind of wrote him off. I think the difference with Gord Downey. Like,
we were ready for him to die. He kept telling us, "I'm gonna die within the next year."
I'm gonna be dead soon.
and then
Oh,
with John
I
Dunsworth,
care.
it was very sudden.
Very sad.
I'm very curious as to what actually happened, but I
They
understand
still haven't released anything yet.
they won't. They probably won't if they ask for privacy.
No, they will eventually. Of course they will.
Maybe
Somebody's
not.
going to find out. Cause of death will become public. Absolutely will. They're just asking for public the grief.
What'd they say? Sudden sickness?
Illness, yeah, sudden
Quick and
illness.
sudden illness.
So I wonder if he had cancer and he just didn't tell anybody, and then
Or maybe it was cancer that was really advanced and they didn't know about it.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like he didn't find out about it until either he died or like
Anything could have happened. He could have had
It was like
a
anthrax or something.
stroke. He could have been like rectal trauma or some awful thing like that.
Yeah, it could have been from Patrick Roach.
It's Patrick Roach.
Randy.
Oh.
Randy.
We really need to do now as a tribute to him. Do what I talked about
Cut all the
and
Randys.
cut every time that he says Randy together in one.
Well, now you can have it as a complete set because he won't ever say it again.
Yeah.
Right.
That's so sad that you're saying that. I know it's true, but it's like, Trailer Park Boys. For me, it's probably one of the biggest, like, top 2 inspirations for me in my career.
I came on it accidentally while I was trying to watch softcore porn, and I never looked back.
And then you recommended it to me because I'd never even heard of it at Luther. You're like, you need to try watching it. And I went out. It was back when all the episodes were on YouTube.
Yeah,
And I watched them all, and it was like my new favorite thing in the whole world.
I was watching Showcase, which nobody ever watched, and then all of a sudden, I just caught a glimpse of all this nonsense.
Brilliant. That's the thing. People who write that show off is like, oh, it's so stupid. I'm going to sound pretentious here, but they don't understand comedy. Because if you don't see to me, if you don't see the brilliance in that show, I can't see the brilliance in you.
Now, I think it's important to differentiate and not to discredit the Netflix iteration of Trailer Park Boys and the Showcase original. I don't think that new one is bad, the Netflix versions.
The most recent season,
different show.
The most recent season is back to what.
But it's still different.
It is still very different. Yeah, actors left the show.
Characters got older
and had to change drastically.
Just all the camera work is completely different, which is obvious. Goes without saying. But I think it's such an odd transition for me watching, because I was watching, well, the day he passed away, I watched the transitionary season, so like the end of the last Showcase season and the new Netflix season. And when they do that whole gimmick thing about like, these guys from SwearNet came in and we signed, Ricky just signed these contracts and all this stuff.
SwearNet was such
a letdown.
No, it was just like such a flop. It was just like
it was a flop
their attempt to transition
out of their
from
roles.
Trailer Park Boys, and then it was like they released that movie, which was terrible.
It wasn't good. I wanted to like it. But
I don't understand why they thought that being themselves
was better than being the characters that they.
Or it's like maybe even come up with another show and try that, but it's like I don't understand. Anyways, it just wasn't as. It wasn't. It's not that maybe it had funny parts, but it's like it just wasn't nearly as funny as Trailer Park Boys. So it's like we'd rather just see you do Trailer Park Boys. And then
now, but the thing is, now SwearNet's where all the like side Trailer Park Boys stuff is. So,
yeah, I like
the Trailer Park
Boys.
Like if you listen to their podcasts, they're awesome. Getting Learnt with Ricky is so funny.
I love
the Friday Sippy Poo with Jim Leahy.
Liquor Stories, I'm gonna miss that too.
Yeah, so good. Yeah. So like once they realize that this is what we are, and some people like look down on that. I'm like, no, like just embrace that you've created something that you have a rabid fan base and people love it, and keep doing iterations of what you're doing until it stops working.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's just a matter of.
So. It's not like just continuing your successes and selling out. It's like we need to come up with something new.
Now, do we want to see more Trailer Park Boys without Jim Leahy? I kind of don't.
I'd like to see a concluding season.
It would be nice if there was one.
They have to wrap it up. They have to wrap it up somehow.
Yeah, it would. I would say that one more season
or a movie.
Say goodbye to Jim Leahy, or a movie. Yeah, and then
just something. Just
it's just like
something.
I'm not interested really in continuing and like trying to keep it going after Jim Leahy. Like that's just such a crux of that entire thing is gone. Yeah, I just don't.
I gotta say, my favorite season of Trailer Park Boys is the one, I think, probably the one where at the beginning they make the alliance with Leahy.
Yeah, that's the one I was just watching not long ago.
It's such a good season. That whole season is so fucking funny. And they catch them on the and Jim's like trying to talk to them. He's like all drunk and he's like he can't even talk. He's like get the fucking net off of us. Like
I'm like I like the really early stuff just because of seeing the roots of it.
Mm-hmm.
Then I don't as much.
You're really picky with your Trailer Park Boys.
No, I'm not really picky. I do like the season where Ricky's got the big fence up that divides half the park. That's like fuck off.
Or the only season where Ricky doesn't go to jail.
Yeah, he's a trailer park supervisor.
And he and Bubbles play hash hockey all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like Julian's back, and it's like they write the list out, and he goes to like change the thing and like electrocutes himself, and he's like got to smoke. He's like I need to smoke. You're already smoking one.
He's like
he just keeps repeating himself.
Cigarettes.
Yeah.
And he's like, why is Ricky smoking 3 cigarettes? Ricky always smokes 3 cigarettes.
Yeah. I always pound liquor into me on special occasions.
Yeah, pound the liquor into me.
They go with Celebration Chicken from Swiss Chalet, and he rigs up J-Rock's car, which is Julian's car, with like the rum dispenser, like the washer fluid is a rum dispenser.
I'm trying to think of my least favorite season.
Honestly, the first season for me is like probably my least favorite, just because it was so like no fault of their own. They had like no budget and
hadn't hit their stride.
Hit their stride yet. They didn't really know what these characters could be or do. And like by the end of the first season, it got better. But like second season really is where the show begins for me. Like the first season for sure is the origins, but the second season's where it like.
I mean, I love the very first scene in the whole series.
It is a very good way to set it up.
It's in black and white, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's in black and white, and then you hear the gunshots and whatever.
Yeah.
One of my favorite. Here's one thing that Trailer Park Boys does for me that is almost about. I don't like physical humor really at all.
But
Okay.
they do it so
I'm
good.
not interested in kicks in the nuts or any of that stuff, or like the fighting. Like,
All the Ricky stuff is amazing.
But
All the Ricky and
one of
Randy
the gags-
fighting and
One of the gags that will never ever get old to me
yes,
is the clearing stick.
yeah,
Oh, that is
brilliant
I just love him. He's got like all of the stuff that he owns on the car
in the world
and
on
they
the car.
just carelessly smash it all off just to clear it off to take the car somewhere. That they've got like pots of water on heat trays and stuff, like cooking stuff, and like clothes are tied up, and they just and when they pull away from that camping site when they're camping outside the train convention, and they've got the whole like tarped up to make like a camp spot. He just drives away like they have pots and pans out. They just drag it all down the street.
The other gag I love that they do, it's mostly with Ricky, but it's especially in the beginning of seasons, like he's always drinking Crystal Light out of some random, like it's like the bottom of a 2-liter bottle and a dog dish, or like he's stirring up like Crystal Light into like these random containers, and he's like, as if it's totally normal, talking to the interviewers.
Yeah, I love it when he wakes up in random places. Like it'll like pan over to him, and he's in the middle of the street, and he's just laying there.
The most episodes start
the
with
sewer
him
pipeline.
waking up.
I love that there's that one episode where it's like, I think it's the Oscar Goldman episode, which is one of my all-time favorites. But he's like, yeah, last night I got really drunk, got really high, slept in a sewer pipe. My back's all fucked up, but but I still got up early. That's what being a parent is about. You're having responsibles. You still got to get up early. You can still get. It's not about not getting drunk and high. It's just about you still got to get up early in the morning. And then that's another character that I didn't think I was gonna miss him, but Ray, I miss Ray in these last few seasons. Like, he was so good.
He's so good in the early seasons.
Especially,
he gets a little annoying, but he's really in his stride when he's playing VLTs and it's the way of the road, bud. And the trailer burnt down, and God's looking after the guy in the chair.
Like, he seems like a guy who could exist.
Yeah, and he's
for sure.
When he's looking for Oscar Goldman, he needs drinks. And
I have no idea. He's like, I have no idea how to track chicken.
I just do it for the free liquor. And then
it's like every time he takes these like monster swigs out of these fucking bottles of liquor.
And then when they do the okay, Ray, you're gonna Ma, you're gonna stand up and these girls their magic touch is gonna make you walk. And he just says to Jerry, he's like, I think it'd be better if I just sat in the chair and drank. If I just sit here and drink.
And then like that's the other thing, like that show just got so right. Is it's so quotable.
Oh yeah, it's incredible.
Like, other people wouldn't get this, but the episode where they're selling the gas that they stole, and Leahy and Randy are trying to catch them. And it's like, all right, camera A, camera B, good. We got them from multiple angles, so they're fucked. Like, how many times do we say that on set? Like, when we're doing something, we got them from multiple angles, so they're fucked. It's like it's the perfect quote for us.
Oh, and John Gunsworth, like all of his stuff with
the shit wolves and
It's now the episode. I Am the Liquor might be the most iconic episode, simply because like now that is cemented as his legacy. Is I Am the Liquor.
Yeah.
Which one is? What's the context of that again?
So it's the episode where
is it that with the shit puppets?
Yeah, the shitapillars, and he
has all the bottles of liquor.
No, this is after that. But they break Cyrus out of prison, and then Leahy's like, maybe they'll kill each other, and then Randy's like,
well, that's the end of that season, yeah.
And then Leahy's like, wouldn't that be nice, boy? And he's like, well, we can't be accessory to murder. Yeah, you're right. He just like agrees with him. He's like, Mr. Leahy, is it you talking or the liquor? Randy, blah 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 blah. I am the liquor.
Yeah, that's the second last.
We can't be accessory to murder. You're right.
That's the second last episode of that season, because like then the gunfight happens and Ricky has the heart attack and he saves Leahy. Or Leahy saves him.
How long is Ricky out when he has a heart attack?
6 minutes.
Yeah, something stupid.
This stuff keeps happening to Ricky.
He goes on about how if he weren't more brain alert, then he would have died. But thank God if he wouldn't have filled his brain up with all that stuff.
Yeah.
My goodness. That was like the one thing. The only real development that I loved that Jim Leahy went through was like, because it's like his thing is like, oh, he's off the liquor, he's on the liquor, he's off the liquor, he's on the liquor, he's off the liquor, he's on the liquor. But in the one movie that didn't really like fucking
He was the only part.
legalize
He
it.
was the only part of that movie that was good.
Yeah, it was like when they graduated him to cocaine.
The white
And
liquor.
he calls it the white liquor, and that was incredible.
Oh, the scene where it's like they're in the bathroom. It's like Randy spills the Coke all over his shorts, and the person breaks down the door, and he's like sniffing Randy's underwear to get the Coke out. He's like, "It's not what it looks like."
Oh my
and then
God,
they
he
run
jumps
to
out the side of the door, and then he's like, oh,
and
he
snorts
the side of the door.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they haven't had a whole lot of luck with movies. Like Countdown to Liquor Day was a masterpiece, but like the first movie was also good, but that they didn't get the right fucking kid to play Trinity, and they got some awful actors like Charlotte Actor. She was fucking terrible.
Oh, yeah, she was terrible.
Almost basically ruined the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, it was a funny concept and funny movie overall.
Oh yeah, I liked the first one too.
Oh, Countdown to Liquor Day with Leahy in fucking Mexico or whatever. Oh, that is also my favorite thing ever. Him running down the beach drunk with a palm branch.
Yeah,
Oh,
and like all red, like so red.
so burnt.
And then like Don't Legalize It just wasn't good.
Yeah.
I wanted to like it, but it was like
I was really disappointed.
it had lots of funny parts and funny lines, but overall it was like
It was a really incohesive plot.
Yeah, the plot was so weird. It was like the whole movie is them driving to Ottawa. And like the Bubbles parents thing was really weird.
yeah. Like I think they either needed to have it be about the Bubbles parents thing or about like it was too convoluted.
Yeah.
It was just weird. It's like they're in Ottawa the last like 10 minutes maybe, if even that. They're there for like 5 minutes. He like they bust into the fucking when they're doing the
Meeting.
hearing or whatever. And then he's like gives his little speech and then they're gone and it's like what a weird. It was very weird.
It did set up the Netflix season pretty well though, because then Ricky has like the drugs store.
The other thing that, for me, about Trailer Park Boys that I think is interesting is how I like all the back plot stuff and all the fan theory, like, is Trinity actually Julian's daughter? And, like, is Julian actually the dumb one and Ricky's the genius? Because Julian seems to be always the one that gets them into trouble. And really, Julian's a super underrated character. He holds the group together, but he doesn't really do anything that incredible ever.
Well, that's the thing that I love about the Trailer Park Boys. Also, it's like it's
Julian's the grounding figure.
And in a lot of shows, the character that's the grounding figure, you kind of hate them, or it's like they're very uncompelling. I feel like you don't have that in Trailer Park Boys. Like all the characters are pretty strong.
Yeah.
Like for example, a show that I liked for the first few seasons, but How I Met Your Mother. The grounding character is Ted, and he is the worst fucking character in the show. Everybody fucking hates him.
No, it's true.
And it's like
Ted's a terrible actor, and the character's not like.
It's not. I don't think it's so much that he's a terrible actor. It's that it's a terribly written character.
Yeah, I don't know. That show didn't need to have Ted, but then I guess how do you?
The thing is, that show went really downhill when it became too much the NPH show. And it also went downhill again when it became the like, this is all about like the end. The ending basically ruined it.
Another thing for me is, like with Trailer Park Boys, they didn't overdo it. Hangover movie became all about Alan. The How I Met Your Mother became all about Neil Patrick Harris. Trailer Park Boys, Bubbles wasn't even a fucking character in the first one. He was supposed to be like a tertiary, like totally side character. And then they brought him into the fold, and they didn't make it like this is the Bubbles show, which is great. And they never like overtake the Ricky thing. Like all the characters are funny on their own, but they're never ramming Leahy down your throat.
They all kind of share equal screen time almost, or like.
And I think it's
you see enough of them.
It's It's very consistent in how they use them.
I think Julian's like the actor needs a lot of credit because like he's nobody's favorite character.
I like Julian.
It'd be pretty hard for Julian to be your favorite character, though.
No, he's pretty. He's like just an amazing supporting character.
I feel like it's Leahy or Ricky, right?
Most people like Bubbles the most.
J-Rock is my favorite.
Bubbles.
Yeah, J-Rock's a pretty good character.
Awesome.
I hate that he also left the show. Like
Jonathan Torrens
like,
getting too big for your fucking britches now that you do Mr. D and Oh, like, I don't even like that show really.
I kind of like it.
It relies way too much on, oh my god, this is so awkward, it's so awkward. It's like, what's the most awkward thing that could happen in this situation? Guess what? It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And it's like, I get people finding that funny, and I'm not saying it's bad. I just personally don't care for it. I
Okay,
can't
so now
handle
if
it.
they start a new season, who's all gone? Mr. Leahy's gone. Trevor's gone. J-Rock's gone.
Lucy's gone.
Lucy's gone. I don't. Do you count DVS? Because he was only in it for like 4 seasons.
Well, he was also a super tertiary character. He was just part of J-Rock's crew. Like J-Rock and Tyrone were still the.
Is Tyrone
T's still in it. Right?
T's still in it, yeah.
not Detroit Velvet Smooth?
Which is so weird because T never graduated from being
a second.
J-Rock's. Like,
Well, it was so
Well, I think he's done a really good job though in the most recent seasons.
Oh yeah,
as
absolutely.
being like a character worth
Where is
giving a
J-Rock
fuck about.
supposedly?
He's touring with his kid,
All right.
Oh right.
his son.
So,
Oh,
but
my goodness,
the
the
DVS
son.
thing is
Oh,
funny
so
because he rips off DVS's rhymes, and then DVS becomes part of his crew later. It's weird.
Yeah,
Detroit Velvet, Mr. Smooth, Mr. Velvet.
yeah,
Trinity's still in it. Is Barb there?
yeah. Barb is there. Sam is there. I mean, as of now, Sarah's his daughter.
Yeah, she's still in it.
Yeah.
Corey left and then came back.
And that was another good thing. That was another brilliant thing that they did, was bringing Corey back and pairing him with Jacob was so smart, because it actually made Jacob a character
And
that
he
was,
was
like, worth-
basically Trevor.
He
Like,
was.
They were both gangly, skinny white
and
guys.
they replaced him in a way that didn't feel like they were just replacing him. It was very natural.
I mean,
And
I'll forever miss Corey Trevor Smokes, but
And
Yeah.
also, Jacob, it's incredible his story arc, because he starts in season 1.
Well, he's the guy who they always rob. He always has a new job. It's like it always happens to be
He's running
the
the
clerk.
gas store,
Yeah.
he's running the grocery store, or he's running the pharmacy.
yeah, he's absolutely he says like 4 lines in the first.
Basically my theory there kind of is that not theory, but what I've noticed is the boys kind of indirectly fuck up his life so bad that he has to become one of them. Because he obviously has his work ethic, and they keep getting him fired from all these jobs.
And he has to eventually join them.
Yeah.
Do we ever see Jacob's boys again, or do they die in that season with Sebastian Bach?
We don't ever see them again.
Sebastian Bach is another fucking crazy side character.
I love that. I feel like they went a little bit too heavy with it, but I liked them. I thought them bringing in the celebrities was kind of funny and cool at first.
Is that
a bit heavy.
Netflix?
No, that was with Netflix.
Sebastian Bach?
No. Bringing in like
Alex Lifeson. And
no. I'm talking about bringing like Snoop Dogg, Tom Arnold,
Okay, but
Doug Benson.
Is Alex Lifeson is pre-Netflix, right?
Oh yeah.
Like when they do all the Rush shit.
They brought in a bunch of Canadian icons though. They had Alex Lifeson, Rita McNeil.
Sebastian Bach is
Fucking Reed McNeil.
That's early. The Rita McNeil thing is early, and it's such an odd. Sebastian Bach makes sense to me. He's a Canadian. He's got nothing going on now, and he's kind of like a B-list celebrity. But Rita McNeil's like
B-list,
a
Z-list.
homegrown like Canadian celebrity, like not in
So
that.
homely and
Yeah.
not that kind of content at all. That's incredible, because I mean, like, it's one thing having somebody appear, like somebody's voice appear on like Family or whatever, because it's not that crude, but it's like a show like Trailer Park Boys, which from the outward, if you just look at it at surface level, it's about stupid people. It doesn't make any sort of political statements. It just seems really stupid if you just look at it surface level, and then to have that, like, it's way more brilliant having somebody like Rita McNeil come on that show.
I think it to me it just shows that it is better than people. It is more than just the surface. It does have genius in its.
Well, certainly.
Yeah.
Now, 2 things I did not like about. We're all going to list our 3 favorite things least we like about Trailer Park Boys.
Okay.
Number 1, and I'm going to combine this into 2. I don't like Conky, and I don't like when Bubbles starts going crazy with the train thing. I don't like when Bubbles goes crazy. It doesn't work for me.
No, it doesn't.
I don't know if I'm wrong there.
No.
I'm being stupid. Like
They also the thing is they also go back to it way too much.
Yeah.
It's seemingly resolved and then not resolved a couple times, and it's like it just doesn't seem realistic. But yeah, continue.
How did they end up killing Conky?
Well, he comes back again. Julian.
No, but I mean like the actual puppet.
Like he shoots him in the one episode, then he comes back.
Do they put him in a swamp or something? Like
Ricky puts him in a swamp when they're kids. Then that one episode they pull him out, and then he's in Sam Losco's office, and Julian like shoots the puppet. Ricky's gonna shoot him like this, like into Bubbles' head, and Julian's like, "Ricky, you're going to shoot a puppet, and behind that puppet is our friend Bubbles. The bullet will go through the puppet and kill our friend Bubbles." And then he's like, "Patrick Swayze," and then Julian holds his hand out to the side and then blows. But then they put the pieces back in the swamp, and then he comes out later again, like as a really fucked.
Yeah.
The scene where Bubbles is like
the puppet I like.
And like poured the liquor all over the pieces and like putting it back together. That was funny,
maybe not the Conky aspect, but I do like the puppet and how fucked up the puppet is.
Yeah.
Well, then he makes like Ricky or like Bobby Turcolino and Little Ricky is like the new puppet in like the new season. I'm like
And the Ray. That's just a small thing to say that I dislike, but I got so excited about the Bubbles and Ray kind of having their own side thing, and then he gets Ray's rig license back. I'm like, this proposes a whole bunch of new things they could do, and then they immediately take Ray down in the States. He gets arrested for prostitution. I'm like, that's fucking lame. Like,
that's a storyline they could have explored.
Yeah, like Ray could have become more of a character again, unless Ray wanted out, and that's how they got him out. I don't know. That's not to say one way or the other.
Yeah.
Number 3. Number 3. What's my third least favorite thing? Maybe I don't even have a third.
Mine's very specific, but I'll say it again because I agree with everything you've said. I would add specifically don't legalize it. That whole movie, it was just like overall was just like you could have got this point across in
2 episodes,
a couple of episodes instead of this whole movie, and like the funny lines just weren't worth it except for the Leahy part. And then specifically again going back the first movie, not getting the original Trinity was just a huge mistake and a black mark on the whole series of perfection beyond that. Like, why did they replace her? Why did they just not have her in the movie? Like, it pisses me off when I think about it because it's such an inconsistency, and I hate that kind of shit.
Okay, I got one. Sort of off that, but the opposite. It's frustrating that Ellen Page was introduced and never comes back.
Yeah, me too. Totally agree.
Yeah, as Trina, yeah.
And I mean, like, that one's, like, obvious.
And they kind of talk about it.
But it's just, like...
Also, are you too good that you couldn't come back for a guest appearance?
She's so weird and different now. But,
yeah, she's a lesbian and, like, super artsy. And
she's trans.
But,
she's not, is she?
Yeah, I think so.
But,
no, she's just a lesbian.
No, but I think she's, like, not trans, like, in the traditional trans sense. Like,
like non-binary.
Like, I'm non-binary flotation.
How about we just go around right now and everyone says what their pronoun is?
No, first round, let's finish.
Okay,
finish. That was basically it.
You was just
like, there's probably other stuff it's kind of weird. There are certain characters who I didn't like at first who got better. Donnie.
Fuck off with the fucking guns.
No. Donnie with the I'm Donna. Like,
yeah, Donnie and Donna.
Oh,
that I always found kind of funny and really uncomfortable, which I like.
No, I like fuck off. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's great. No, that's amazing. The fact that you never see him forever. It's like Sam Losco at the beginning wasn't great, but then got really funny and great.
The whole caveman thing was really funny.
And it's weird. It's like the characters that I don't like are the characters that you could tell are not like professional actors. It's like Sam Losco. There's certain characters who like they act bad but they act bad consistently throughout the whole series, and that's part of the charm of Trailer Park Boys. Is like some of the actors are really bad, I guess. But it's like it's weird. It's like when they start, you're like this is like it's not. And it's like that Donna character too. It's like not a good actor. No. And at the beginning, it's like it's just bad. Like none of the lines are going. But it's like then you get into the swing of it, and then you understand the character, and then it gets better. Happens a lot in that show, though.
Yeah, I don't know if it's bad acting so much as just the characters are so.
You know who's a great random character? Phil Collins' other son that only is there.
That
for,
was
like, a
so
couple
good.
episodes.
Yeah.
You don't mess with Philadelphia Collins and Sons.
Philadelphia.
Collins. He's got like that long hair, and he's like, "Dad, we weren't raised that way with the drugs and the drinking."
Yeah.
And he drives that sweet Camaro.
Yeah. Look at that. Look at this Camaro. Like muscling Ricky, and he's like,
another thing. I guess it only lived as long as it was good, but the fucking Terry and Dennis, like the Chinese drug dealer friends, like always
that was just
wearing
one.
house coats.
That was
and
just
shower
one
caps.
season, even.
Yeah, they didn't. They were there very long.
It was
But
one
they're
season.
super funny, like that.
Yeah.
They just like walk around with their dicks out, and the
Yeah.
one guy's like super cool, and the other one's like, "You can't fuck around, Terry. Like, we need to take this seriously." Is Cyrus gone? Have we seen him since?
No, we haven't. But he's not like written out of the show. One of my favorite thing with Cyrus is like in the one. Can't remember if it's the season or the movie, but like it's like him and Sam become like working together, and he's like, "Yeah, I just pay him and craft dinner." He's like talking about Sam. It's just like it cuts to Sam sitting there with the shotgun, like eating this big fucking pot of craft dinner.
He's a veterinarian.
I
Yeah.
love.
Or he's like a vet who like then he opens like a plastic surgery thing and like
it's like just totally botched surgery.
and then like denture clinic and like
I love fucking Cyrus. Fuck off! I got work to do, and he's always got the same song in his car.
yeah.
He always he always fucking peels in, gets out of the car, pulls his gun out, like unloads it.
Now are we
And
fucking serious?
Says some little line to tell him to fuck off. He's like, "Fuck off! I
I
got work to do." And he
Yeah.
gets it.
Oh, that's funny.
No, the show is brilliant.
Phil Collins
So-
himself.
Phil Collins is amazing.
I like that his name is Phil Collins.
His dirty, greasy cheeseburgers.
I love the fucking
Randy, if
The
you
first-
lay off the dope for just a minute.
the first time they meet him, he's like, "What are you looking at my gut for?" He's like, "What? You have a gut. No one cares. It's right there. Look at it.
He
We're all
does
looking
his
at
shirt
it.
up.
It doesn't matter. He's got a gut too."
His
Yeah.
shirt is resting on top of his gut.
He's like, "Look, it's right fucking there,
And,
Ricky.
like all the,
What are you looking at? What are you staring at my gut for?
What you looking at my gut for? It's fucking huge, and it's right there.
Look at it.
We're all looking at it. No one cares."
Oh goodness!
Like,
I
I
love
just
Phil
love-
Collins.
I love how the one thing that they always are in the park is they're totally accepting of everybody. Like no one's like transphobic against Donnie and Donna or like
gay.
never make fun of Leahy and Randy for being
They
gay.
never even bring it up.
Nope, never even bring it up. And like
That show is very inclusive of
and the whole like gut thing, like he's making fun of him for it, but at the same time it's like no one cares. You got a gut. He's got a gut. Let's just fucking move on with this.
We don't need to worry about
Yeah.
people's weight, or size, or height, or age.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is really good that way. It's very inclusive.
I love Sarah also like talking.
I mean that's an example of how it's like you can write a really funny, compelling show without having to resort to like, for lack of a better term, like bullying of people.
Yeah.
Totally. Or like being like totally derogatory for no
Just for laughs.
just for the laughs, yeah. But I think we should all go around just so our viewers know
A Bradford Recreational Society.
and just say who you are, what you identify as and what your pronoun is. Just so everyone knows. I'll start.
I feel like this is making fun of people.
This is not making fun of anybody, sir. Excuse me, I assumed your identity. I'm just going to go on the record and say that I'm non-binary. I prefer Zim/Zer pronouns. And yeah, that's me. That's how I identify. That's who I am.
I'm a cisgendered heterosexual Caucasian male. I use the pronouns he and his.
They them is also acceptable.
Zim, did you say?
Zim and Zer is my preferred preferred pronouns. Yeah.
So, speaking of,
We didn't let Francois.
What he said.
Okay.
very white bread. Not that it's better than anything else. So, we're going to talk today a little bit about justice porn. What exactly is justice porn, Andrew?
Justice porn is when it's basically videos of, like, the purest example would be guy tries to rob 7-Eleven and the clerk kicks his ass. So it's like where someone, it's usually cases where it's pretty clear cut that the person is getting, that justice is being served to this person. Street justice. Like, they tried to, like, fucking harass some guy, and, like, he gives them every opportunity to back off, and they don't, and he fucking one punches them. Justice porn.
I fucking love it. I love that shit.
Yeah, we just watched a bunch of videos before this podcast.
If you're interested in checking them out, you can just go on Reddit and look up justice porn.
Our justice porn, yeah.
Now,
not to be confused with petty revenge.
What is petty revenge?
Petty revenge is like exactly what it sounds like.
People are petty.
Like very petty. Like my neighbor was loud once, so I
killed his cat.
I know, like, not like that's like beyond pet. Beyond, that's more than like vindictive. Like, I'll pull it up. You keep talking.
Anyway, my fascination with this started with, and I'm not like, there's two types of people who enjoy justice porn, I believe, and one type of them is like raw America's like, if you harm me in any way, I should be able to shoot you, or you hurt my stuff, I should be able to shoot you. If I don't like what you're saying, I should be able to shoot you. I'm not there. But there's a video of an Australian kid who's being bullied, and then he fucking power bombs the bully. That's awesome. I like when people are super mouthy and overconfident based on nothing, and then they just get their comeuppance. Fred is not a fan of justice porn.
I wouldn't say that. I'm not a fan of violence in general, so I just don't like seeing it, especially like in a grade school setting. Makes me very uncomfortable.
Like, he played Shadow of Mordor. Let's let him know he does play violent games.
Oh, I love violent video games. Love them. I'm all for the killing of digital characters. Kill all the digital characters you want. I don't care. But when it comes to real human beings, I have a different opinion. So I'm not a huge. I just don't like seeing violence, and like seeing violence doesn't really, like, sometimes it does. Like, I've gotten into the occasional boxing match or UFC fight, like. Like, other than that, like, I just doesn't really do it for me. But I do enjoy revenge porn when it's more like somebody getting their comeuppance non-violently. Like, I listened to this story recently where this girl, like, her whole thing was like, she was in an airport, and this woman she said, okay, this was the situation. She was sitting in a seat in the airport waiting for a flight. We'll say 4 seats down from her, there's this couple, a woman and a man. And then on the other side of her, 4 seats, again, is a guy listening to music in headphones. And so she's saying that it's like this guy listening to headphones, like, his music is loud, but she said it's not like he's playing it through a speaker. It's like his music is loud in his headphones, and she can kind of hear it. But this woman 8 seats down from this guy with the headphones, so this girl in the middle can kind of hear it. This woman 8 seats down, she keeps saying, it's real. It's like, I could be really loud too. I could be, and like saying really passive aggressive things to try to get this guy to notice or whatever. And guy doesn't notice, obviously, and she just keeps saying. So this girl gets like pissed off and is like, man, this woman is like just being an asshole. It's like, it's not that loud. She's just trying to be fucking stupid. No, I'm sorry. It wasn't music. It was a phone call. Totally fucked it up. I don't know why I thought it was a phone call. He's on the phone. And so she's like, I'm really loud. I could be loud too. So this guy's on the phone, and she keeps doing that. It's like, I could talk really loud on the phone too. So this girl in the middle is getting pissed off. And she's like, he's not being that loud. He's like, he's on the phone talking to somebody. It's not that weird. Crazy. And anyway, so they get on the plane, and then this woman, this girl in the middle goes to see her seat, and lo and behold, who's in her seat? This woman and her husband are there. And so she's like, hey, you're in my seat. And the woman's like, nope, we're in E6 and E7. And she's like, actually, you look up there, you're in the wrong seat. And she like she's like, well, whatever. And like forced to get up and then sit down again. And then she was like, it was doubly as good because like they were in, she was in an escape row, so she got even more leg room. And then she said the ultimate thing was the fact that she sat down and no one had the seat next to her. So she got to like recline and be in this chick. And it's like, I like that stuff. It's like this chick was being obnoxious in the airport, and then also sat in the wrong seat, and then like got her comeuppance where it's like you got a seat in the tighter seats and whatever. And so I like that kind of stuff where it's like somebody it's like it's almost karma. I don't believe in karma, but it like
I do.
It seems like it seems very karmic.
See, Petty Revenge, I was just kind of trying to find a good one, or like that wasn't like a really long to read. But the difference with Petty Revenge is like where it, as one is kind of like almost like karma. Petty Revenge is like my neighbor got mad at me for shoveling my walk. I usually shovel their walk and mine, and the one day I didn't have time to shovel their walk, and they got mad at me, so I put water on their thing to harden it to ice.
So it's like escalation.
Escalation, or like sometimes like that's a bad example, but like really subtle stuff. Like, for example, maybe a neighbor gets your car towed, and maybe you sign her up to hundreds of newsletters for various things and get them sent to various churches and other institutions to send mail to her house. Their house, not to assume anything.
They house. Road house.
Their house.
I don't know. It's not so much that I enjoy the physical violent aspect of it. But
It's not that, though.
But for me, it's such like a... Because of the violence of it, it's so impactful that they just get the point. And it's not always...
But the thing is that the other thing that...
It's always people that like...
But they're also trying to start violence is the thing that's
Yeah.
different about that. It's not like they're being non-violent and then violence is the answer to their... It's like they're coming in someone's face... Like, they're getting in someone's face, getting all up in their grill.
And take a swing.
And like usually they take a swing or...
Yo, man, he was in my face.
Yeah.
I'm in your face. That's the Furious one.
See, that's what I like. It's like this person's like super overconfident, like so lippy, and then they also take a swing and like make contact and punch, and then it's like, no, you got fucking lit up.
That's my favorite way that one way that Brad chooses to de-escalate things often. Well, not even often is hitting himself, and it is the most effective way and one of the most intimidating things that you'll ever see, because it's like like I'm gonna fight you, I'll fight you, no problem. And then Brad looks you straight in the eyes and hits himself as hard as he can.
I think it's scarier than seeing somebody hit themselves harder than you would have hit them.
And I can hit myself fucking hard.
Like you hit you gave yourself a concussion.
Well, there's no
that
restraint.
one day.
I think in any fight, there's a level of restraint there, no matter what. But it's like when you're on yourself, you can punch as hard as you want. You're damaging no one but yourself. You go at yourself.
I saw Brad once. I think probably give himself a concussion from hitting himself with a crutch.
Yeah, I hit myself.
You haven't had like a blackout in a long time.
Angry mad?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Have a little sip of that, Brad. Tell me what you think. It's a German beer that I really like.
That's nice. It's a Munich Gold.
Sure.
What I think that hitting yourself is so effective.
Well, that is incredible. Like,
is it a calculated thing that you do, or is it something that just happens?
For me, it's just again.
It seems like a blackout in the moment thing.
It is, but in the back of
But
my
it's
head,
also semi-calculated.
I just hate when people are like, "I'm gonna kick your ass," and it's like, you have no idea how this is gonna turn out.
I'll kick my own
So
ass.
I'm gonna show you what it looks like for me to get my ass
It's
kicked.
like the thing is,
this is what it takes to kick.
It's
my
usually
ass.
every time I've
That's
seen
the
it,
thing,
it's been someone who you know, at least tertiarily, who you're like
You don't want to harm.
you don't want to harm them, and it's like it's coming from a place of like you're gonna kick my ass. It's like you're like you know that's not how it's gonna go. It's gonna be quite the opposite.
I like that. You're gonna kick my ass. I'm gonna show you what it takes to kick my ass,
And then we'll see.
It's like, are you still up?
Yeah, that one day after football, we're in the shower, these hypersonic fucking dryers, and this one fucking kid, this awful kid, he was just the worst. He's sitting there playing with it, and we had like this fucking terribly long day. Lost his football game. I fucked my knee up. Everyone was just like, "Can this day be over now?" And he's sitting there like, and we're like, it echoing and really loud in the showers. Stop! Brad's yelling at him.
No, I didn't even. I was like, "Can you stop?"
But
Like,
eventually,
I was like, "Stop!"
And yelling
What was
at
he
him.
doing?
Like, it was like hair dryers, like those really loud
Hand dryers.
Blue
Oh,
Thunder hand dryers.
Okay.
But the ones that make that like
his
super
hands
loud
were,
screeching
his hands
noise.
were dry.
So you just kept
And
going
he's
at
just
it?
turning it off.
Playing with it.
I was like,
to be
at first
annoying.
I was like, "You just stop." And then it was like, "Oh fuck you! I'm gonna keep doing it." So he just keeps doing it, and I'm yelling, I'm like, you fucking stop. And then
He's like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
And then we're going out in the hallway because we're going to fight. And then Andrew comes up to see
Hobbling. I'm like, I'm on my crutches.
See what all the commotion's about. And I'm in my underwear on my towel.
Just your underwear, dripping wet. Spencer took one of my crutches to defend himself. He's like, I'm going to fucking hit you with the crutch. And I walk up hobbling, and you grab my crutch, and you look him straight in the eyes, and you're gonna hit me with your crutch. You're gonna hit me with your fucking crutch. And you grab the crutch, and you just and like you smash your face into the crutch like 10 plus times. And it's like your face is like all red, almost looks like you were gonna bleed. Like the crutch is like there's indents in the crutch from your fucking forehead. And then you walk past him, snatch the crutch out of his hand, and walk back to we were roommates at the time, so we walk back to our room, slam the fucking door. Spencer's like, what's his problem? You come back out of your room, like, what did you fucking say? And he just kind of like walks away.
Oh man, that was the best. And I purposely hit myself on the spot of the crutch where like it's a tube and then the other tube slides up into it, like where there's obviously more metal there than floor dead. So I just like bam, 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 right into my fucking forehead.
But the thing is, like, you're staring at him the entire time, staring him down right in his eyes, smashing yourself in the face with this crutch.
Terrifying.
It is utterly terrifying. He did that. We were actually back in the days of being cooped up at Luther. We were gonna fight once.
And I hit with the shoe.
Yeah, the same thing. Like he was like in my doorway. I'm like, please just fucking leave. And he's like, I'm trapped. I can't get out. The world.
We were being weird.
It was. We were borderline.
Anyways,
mental break.
Andrew threw a shoe at me.
I threw one lightly, and you're like, that's not going to get me out of here. And so I fucking wing a shoe at you, and you give me this look like I'm going to fucking kill you. And I'm like, what? Bring it on, pussy. And you grabbed the shoe that I threw at you, and you went to go like throw it at me, and you went, smash yourself in the face with this shoe.
What a...
And then you threw it on the ground so hard that it bounced up and hit me almost in the balls, and then storm off.
How is that horrifically effective way to end something?
God, those were crazy days.
Oh man, the one, my favorite one ever. I damn near knocked myself out when I wouldn't fight with Sam.
That beer pong tournament, we were all so drunk. And like Brad and I were like, we lost. We were like, for sure, like barely made it into the finals of this tournament. And then we come back and just fucking roll everybody. And then Sam and Diable, who were both very competitive, were like very upset with us. And I don't know how it happened, but then Sam like...
Well, somebody was holding him back because he was going to swing at me.
Well, because like we were being like kind of cocky. It's beer pong, and we were like made these crazy shots, and we won.
Yeah.
And
I'm a handful. I won't deny it.
like we weren't being like gracious winners, no. For sure. But then Sam was like, "Oh, fucking wipe that." Yeah, he's like, "I'll wipe that fucking little smirk off your face." Or was it Diable who said that? And then Sam reacted. I can't remember. But then, yeah, Sam went to go take a swing at you, and I could just fire in your eyes. He punched himself so hard in the face that his entire half of his face swelled up. Like he couldn't see barely out of his one eye. Gave himself like a very noticeable black eye.
And like all down the side of this jaw,
bruised, swollen.
I fucking closed my jaw for like 3 days. I was like, and I know like it was all swollen up into my teeth, and I couldn't chew.
Because you were like, the best part for me though was like, we were all talking about like, oh, we'll go to McDonald's, whatever. We're like, whatever, talking about that. We just, we're going to fucking Wing World. And like, fuck all you guys. Leave, go to Wing World.
Oh man. I love punching myself with a crutch. Nobody will fight you after.
No, it's great. It is a very unexpected...
Mm-hmm.
It's
tactic.
Because you don't fuck with crazy.
And the other thing is, at least when I'm punching myself, I can control the situation. Like, I'm never gonna like break my own teeth or like.
Well, you might, but who gives a shit?
No, but like I'm controlling it. Like I'm not punching myself, but I'm gonna break my nose.
You punch her somewhere where it's gonna like show, but it's not gonna do any like
not any permanent damage.
Or like someone's not gonna get some random shot and like give you some crazy concussion or brain damage.
Break
or
my eye socket
that's the scariest thing about a fight to me. is like, you see, like, media just does not portray shit very well at all. It's like, you see fights in the media, or not in the media, in fucking, like, in media, in, like, movies and shows and stuff, and it's like, there's always fights all the time, and it's like, both guys leave, and it's like, bloody or black eye, but it's like, usually it ends with somebody with a fucking, like, crushed face, and, like, a nose. It's like, I remember, went to the Super Teen Dance Swift Current when I was in, like, grade 11 or grade 10, and went with these two friends of mine, and Brendan Schmies was there. Me and Brendan went with these two other guys, and these other two guys were like 2 years older than us, I think, 2 years older than us, and we were there, and we at the Super Teen Dance, it's like this big arena or whatever, and there's a door to the smoking area, and the smoking area is really big and it's fenced off. And so me and the one guy went out because he wanted to have a smoke, and so we literally walked out, stood there for about 5 seconds, and then from like across the little thing, some guy yells, "Nice dragon hat, buddy!" And because he had like the dragon logo hat, this friend of mine did, and we didn't even hear it. And anyway, this guy said, "Did you fucking hear what I said, buddy?" And then he like runs over and he's like, "I said nice fucking dragon hat," and then like did some or other thing. And then right away, this friend of mine is like, "Fuck off, like get out of here." And then the other guy's like, "Fucking make me," swings. This kid was from Swift Current, by the way, so it's not a surprise. Anyways, this fucking Swift kid swings at him. And then this friend of mine, he goes at it, and then it's like, never, ever fight anybody in Swift Current. Never. Because it's like, immediately 16 other people will come and descend on you and kick the fuck out of you. And then it was terrible. It was like, Brendan came out, and then there's nothing. It was like, we watched 17 people just beat the living hell out of this friend of ours. And it was just like, nothing. There's nothing you can do.
And then the other problem, like the big things for me with fighting is always broken teeth, broken eye socket, and broken nose. Because you get that fucking eye socket busted, it takes a long time to fucking heal, and apparently it hurts like a fucking son of a bitch.
You know that we developed like sunken eyes because
protect ourselves.
Yeah, because we fight each other so much.
That fucking socket broke.
Eesh.
And I can tell you from experience, I can swing fucking hard. I'll tell you that.
I wouldn't want to.
Nobody's ever eaten more punches than me of mine.
Maybe that Rise Against guy. Probably.
No, I didn't hit them very much. Sam and Dallas hit the shit out and beat the fuck out of them. If the guys in the Rise Against concert ever wish this, you got all that you deserve, and I'll fucking kick your ass again. I never lost a fight. I haven't been in very many fights, but I never lost a fight.
I don't think
I know. Could you lose to yourself? No, I kicked my own ass. Fuck me.
I can't really think of a fight that I've been in, really. Can't really think of a fight that I've been in, like outside of boxing.
Kick
doesn't count.
Fucking ass.
I mean, it's weird. Like, I've gotten more confrontational as I've gotten older, which is bad.
Like our night at the Cactus.
Oh yeah.
I kind of wish that would have popped off.
I was so ready to go.
Yeah, you were. You were so ready to fight.
I went from 0 to 100 as soon as when I saw Francois stand up and go into that guy's face. Hey! Hey! And like pointing at him like, hey! Everything but like poking his chest. Hey!
It took me everything I had not to kick that guy's ass. And I was going to do it again, and this time I was going to go savage. Like, I was going to fucking gut shot myself. And
oh, it would have been so bad. If one of us would have went, we would have all went.
Yeah.
And it would have been bad.
That's the thing.
He never specifically said anything about fighting me. Which is why I never did anything. He just kept talking about my attitude and everything that I was... But he never once specifically mentioned us fighting. Because if he mentioned me fighting, I was really going to kick my ass. And then I would have taken it to the next level.
With yourself.
I got no time for that shit. It's like, that's what makes me so mad. That's why, that's the only time I get blacked out like that. Is like, I'm just trying to enjoy myself. Please leave me alone.
That was one of those, I hate to say this because it might sound bad, but it was like, he totally misread what was going on. And
John Hamm.
it was the John Hamm, but not because the John Hamm is like something was going on. And it was like
don't worry.
It was wiped under the rug, but it like this was like legitimate, and it's like I don't know. I guess maybe I think that's what. Yeah, no, I got so mad so fast.
No, it was two people having an argument after they'd been drinking.
Yeah,
who were in a couple, and you guys were like yelling at each other, but it wasn't like you weren't
it was
degrading
like
her.
it was like. You want to go Spider-Man, and she got mad because you don't want to go Spider-Man, and then she like left to the bathroom, and then you kind of chased after her. And he's like, "Leave her alone, buddy!" And it's like, no.
Oh man, like I just wanted to kick that guy's ass. That's the problem.
He was such a fucking idiot-looking douchebag too.
And that's the other thing. Is like you get in a fight downtown,
so
and somebody
worse.
pulls a knife, and then it's like, now I
like those
really
bitches outside
gotta kick my ass.
Now it's like. You grab his knife, you stab yourself.
It's like, oh, you got a knife? Just like, don't like, just like grab his wrist, pull it out, right into my shoulder,
and then just like rip your shirt.
All
off,
of a sudden, you're like, and you recognize like you've went too far for yourself. You're like, ah.
No, I would just love like,
because it'd be tough.
Put a bloody palm on my hand.
Like we don't really know. Like we don't know where's
like,
a good place to stab ourselves. So if we were to just like blindly like. Sure, like this will probably not do too much damage. Like you're trying to stab somewhere that's not going to be
chest. You're already at the wrong place if you're doing chest.
Yeah, your leg here, but it's just like there's so many veins.
Arm
would
be better off. I think.
Yeah, true. Like, like you're too many. Yeah,
it would fucking hurt and do damage, but
all that crap. Yeah, if you went right through the bicep, like that would hurt like a bastard. But it's like you probably. It'd be good because it'd mostly be just flesh wounds.
And muscle. You could totally heal from that.
Oh, God. But there's no way. There's no amount of adrenaline that could make you...
Stab yourself?
Well, no. You could stab yourself. There's no amount of adrenaline that you could keep going with the act after you just stabbed yourself. Like that.
I know shock is a pretty powerful thing.
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, I feel like it would be a different... You transition into a completely different state of being.
Just angry through it.
What have we got time-wise?
5 minutes.
Okay.
Oh, sounded kind of like you had something, and that's why you were asking.
Would you rather?
I was trying to think of a would you rather, but all the ones I think of we've already done.
You have some on the tip of your tongue.
Okay.
It's on the tip of
Not
my
playing $1 Million
tongue.
Butt, but playing X Butt. 3-week all-inclusive vacation to Turks and Caicos, but you have to wear a full Hutterite garb the whole time.
No.
Yeah, it wouldn't be worth it.
No. I'd rather not.
Yeah, it would, yeah, I don't know. It's like, no, that's not fun.
I would die. If I had to wear full Hutterite garb, I couldn't handle the heat.
And like, yeah, no, I wouldn't take it.
You can just sit there in Hutterite gear and get pissed.
I guess it's like, what's the alternative not being in Turks and Caicos?
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm in Turks and Caicos. I guess we're talking like a true vacation, like all paid.
Yeah, all expense paid vacation.
Yeah, fuck it. Why don't I just sit by the pool and get, or like never leave the pool?
What's the traditional?
In all my clothes.
What's the traditional Hutterite swimsuit? They
have a traditional swimsuit?
No,
they go swimming ever? They have to.
They wouldn't swim.
Never.
Well, it'd be, because that's the thing is like, it's an interesting culture because it's like they obviously have a modesty thing. But yeah, it's like, how does that? Because you can't not ever swim. You can, I guess, but it's like that'd be a very weird specific. It's like, no man or woman shall toucheth the water. It's like it's kind of a weird thing. So I'm wondering if it's just like
no man or woman shall toucheth the water.
So I wonder if it's like. Maybe one-piece swimsuits, because I'm gonna say that Hutterite swim.
Like those old style, like the man ones where it's like the tank top and the. I have to go
back to the hardest I have or will possibly ever have on this podcast when we were talking about superpowers you could have, and Francois kept going back to what he could do to get an all-inclusive vacation to happen more easily.
I'm trying to think, like, how would that benefit me
it
while
was
I'm on
like
vacation?
it was like super speed and all this.
It's like, would you have super speed or super speed? He's like, well, if I had super speed, I could just run to Mexico, and then I could be at an all-inclusive resort for 7 days.
Well, I can't. Yeah.
Like breathing underwater or flying. It's like I could fly all the way to a sandals resort.
But if I was at the Sandals Resort, I could breathe underwater and not have to worry about scuba gear.
Yeah, scuba gear at the all-inclusive resort in Maui.
My mind is equates everything to vacation. I guess. Here's interesting. Well, I guess we don't really have any more time left, but I guess I'll just end on this. So a really interesting thing on the internet a little while ago. So, color blindness is a thing. There are glasses that make people not colorblind.
Yeah, colorblind.
There's all these videos of people like who
trying them on for the first time,
and they're like overcome with emotion
and it's crazy. That's crazy. That's
for
cool.
me. It's always the ones of people hearing for the first time.
That's fucked up.
It's so powerful.
This is always like hearing her husband of 15 years
always like
the first time. It's like
baby, like 1.5-year-old baby finally hears his mother's voice, and it's like I like trying to touch the mom, and it's like, oh god, it's so powerful, so much emotion.
the first one I ever saw was a woman, and I think it was her husband, and she'd been married to this guy. It was a young couple too. I think they got married when they were 20 and they're like 30s. It was the first time she ever heard her husband, and like the instantaneous, like, it's just such genuine emotion when somebody has like never experienced something like that before, and just like how overwhelming it is for them. And with
like,
the
new sensory shit would be like,
oh, it's crazy. It's a whole new world for you. Because with the guy who I saw, because it's like, it's so cute. The video I saw was like, they get him a present. They're like, hey, we got you another birthday present. He like opens it up, and it's like, he's really weird out. He's like, what are these? Like sunglasses? He's like, that's a weird thing to like video me for. And they're like, try them on. And then he like puts them on. And then like right away just fucking like holds his mouth. And then he's like a 65-year-old man, and he's like shaking like a 4-year-old. Like he starts jumping up and down. And he can't contain himself, and it's like beautiful that is stuff that we're doing, figuring shit out like that. It's awesome.
Well, thank you for joining us on this, our 78th episode. You want to fucking go me? Because I'll fucking kick my ass.
Comment below if you want to fight Brad, and we'll organize it.
And I will send you a PM of me punching myself.
As hard as you can. And you think that we're going to send the same video to everybody? No, he's going to do a different video for every person who says they want to fight him.
I will kick my ass.
And this offer is only good for the next 4 years. So get it while it's hot.
Get it while
so 2021.
We'll say 2022. Even it up. Up until 2022, December 31st of 2022, you can
get a personalized
video
of me kicking my ass.
10 minutes. He has to land at least 4 punches every 3 seconds.
That's pretty crazy parameter.
It's just like
20 minutes. How long?
That's literally just Brad knocking himself out.
Yeah, it's just like
he has to do the video until he knocks himself out.
It's like you got post-concussion syndrome, bud. Bye. It's like you gotta go again. Bye. Okay, guys, thanks for tuning in.